A crowded airplane. Passengers boarding one by one. A first-class seat reserved for a woman traveling with her child. Nearby, a wealthy businessman chuckled. He didn't believe she belonged there. He didn't believe she could afford it. His laughter spread to a few around him. But just before takeoff, the captain's voice came through the speakers. A sudden announcement. An emergency call. And in one instant, the truth about this woman's identity changed everything. This is the story of how prejudice met reality. At 35,000 feet in the air, commercial air travel has long been a place where social divisions become visible. Who sits in first class? Who boards first? Who receives respect? Stories of discrimination on airplanes are not new, but this story stands out because of what happened next. On this particular day, a millionaire boarded the plane. He was known by some passengers for his arrogance. He enjoyed showing his wealth, and he believed his seat in first class gave him status over others. When a black mother and her young son arrived to sit nearby, he scoffed. He assumed she could not possibly belong there. He assumed she had made a mistake, and he made no attempt to hide his reaction. The woman boarded quietly. She held her son's hand. They walked to their seats with boarding passes in hand. Her ticket was valid. Her seat was confirmed. She had every right to be there. But the man next to her laughed. He muttered under his breath. Then he spoke just loud enough for others to hear. Must be a mistake, he said. First class isn't for everyone. Some passengers looked uncomfortable. Others ignored it. The woman stayed calm. She helped her son buckle his seatbelt and did not respond. But the man continued. He asked the flight attendant if she was in the right place. The attendant checked her ticket. Yes, sir, she's in the correct seat. Still, he shook his head and smirked. His body language told the story. He believed money defined worth. Minutes later, boarding was complete. The cabin crew prepared the plane for departure. The captain introduced himself over the speaker, but then something unusual happened. A call came in from the airline's operations team. The captain was asked to speak with one of the passengers in first class. The cabin grew quiet. The name called out was the woman's. The millionaire chuckled again. See, I knew something wasn't right, he whispered. But then the captain walked down the aisle. He greeted her respectfully. He apologized for the disturbance. And then he explained. The airline had received a request. The woman was not only a passenger, she was also a senior executive with one of the largest companies in the world. She had taken this flight after a last-minute business trip. Her team had called ahead to make sure she was comfortable. And the captain himself had been instructed to thank her for her support of the airline. The cabin went silent. The businessman's face changed. His confidence slipped. His laughter disappeared. The woman, calm and composed, smiled politely. She accepted the captain's words with grace. She said only, "Thank you, I appreciate it." Her son looked up at her proudly. The other passengers now realized what had happened. A woman had been judged before anyone knew her story. The millionaire shifted in his seat. He tried to avoid eye contact. He reached for a magazine, pretending to read. The laughter that had once filled the cabin was gone. This moment illustrates a larger issue. Prejudice is often based on quick judgments. What someone wears, the color of their skin, the age of their child. In this case, the man assumed wealth and class belonged only to people like him. He assumed status could be seen at a glance. But reality proved otherwise. The black mother did not need to prove herself. She had earned her place through years of work. She had achieved success despite the stereotypes stacked against her. Her calmness in the face of mockery showed strength. Her silence revealed dignity. And when the truth came out, it exposed not her, but the man who mocked her. There are lessons here for all of us. First, never assume someone's worth based on appearance. You do not know their journey. You do not know their achievements. Second, respect belongs to every passenger, regardless of seat. Airplanes, like society, are shared spaces. Everyone deserves dignity. Third, arrogance is fragile. The millionaire thought his laughter gave him power, but it vanished with a single announcement. His assumptions crumbled in seconds. And finally, representation matters. For the young boy sitting beside his mother that day carried meaning. He saw his mother mocked unfairly, but he also saw her respected by authority. He learned that calm confidence can outshine cruelty. This story is not only about one flight. It is about how prejudice operates in everyday life. It is about how people are judged before they are known. But it is also about how truth, respect, and dignity can shift the balance. The millionaire believed money gave him superiority, but the mother showed that true value lies in character and achievement. As passengers left the plane that day, the memory lingered. Some walked away thinking about how quickly they too had judged. Others remembered the silence after the announcement. And the millionaire who had laughed so loudly walked away quietly. The lesson is simple. Never underestimate a stranger. Never measure worth by stereotypes, because the person you dismiss may be the very person the world respects. This was not just a flight, it was a reminder. A reminder that dignity cannot be bought, and respect must be given equally to all.